Here we go. And welcome to episode 401 of the Pittsburgh. I'm Sean.
And this is the only podcast that says
You don't turn your back on family, even when they do.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. After that off mic, off show conversation we had, that was just purely coincidental. I just picked that out from a little Fast and the Furious. So I watched a Fast movie this week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I watched Fast 9.
Oh,
is that a turd?
It's
It's a tremendous turd, but it's a fucking turd.
Yeah.
It's like the beauty of the Fast movies is they know like how stupid they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they know that they have a level of ridiculousness that makes no sense. So they like it's purely tongue in cheek at this point with like how they like the stunts, quote unquote stunts, like using a rope bridge to swing across a chasm in a Dodge Charger, rocket cars in the space, whatever,
Stupid.
It is. It's amazingly stupid, but it's so brilliantly stupid I can't stop watching. Like I won't go see it in the theater, but I'll sit and watch it for free.
Right.
I
just find it odd how far they've come from street racing to now they're fucking in space.
Yeah, like the brilliance of the first movie of first off being a remake of Point Break, and then playing into realism for the most part. Like you felt like that was like could really happen. It's like they're at a point now where it's like, international global crises are taking place, and like when it's called Dom Toretto and his crew, they'll save the world.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Stupid.
It's ridiculous, But I love them.
It's like an
I can't
upscale Sharknado.
Yeah, but the problem is, it's like I enjoy it. Like it's like brainless mind candy,
Yeah.
And for 2.5 hours, like, I couldn't even believe the fucking movie was 2.5 hours long. I'm like, good God, know your limits. Like if that's my one complaint is like it should have been 2 hours.
Right.
2.5 hours of Fast and Furious, and I'm like, oh man, this is starting to drag a little bit.
Yeah.
But overall, like the only thing I'll say is if you are a fan of these movies, I highly recommend it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you are not a fan, like if you think these are the stupidest things on the planet, which many of you do, and I don't blame you, I am not recommending it to you at all.
Right.
Because you're gonna hate it. It's everything you hate about cinema. Or popcorn movies, I should say. It's not cinema. It's a popcorn movie. But,
right.
It's brainless fun that I can kick back and enjoy every once in a while.
Right.
So. But you're right. It's like the level of ridiculousness is like from like the first movie and how like you felt like, well, that shit could really happen. Like, this feels very real. To like, rocket cars into space.
Stupid.
What in the fuck? Anyway, how are you, sir?
I'm well.
Yeah.
A little tired, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weather's
I saw
Planet
Batman.
Fuck again. Oh, you did, yeah. Ooh, yeah. How was that?
Oh, I loved
That.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did. I thought it was good. I mean, there was a couple parts where it was like, I mean, I'm not going to give spoilers or anything, but
Right.
there was a couple parts where I was like, yeah, it's a little emo right now, but otherwise, it was just the parts where he had the black makeup on.
Yeah.
I mean, he puts the eye stuff, the anti-glare, that stuff around his eyes. And there was a couple points where it was like, wow, this is really emo. Like I was expecting him to sing Black Parade. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, it just had that look, you know what I mean? Because the movie's really, really dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's really, really, really dark. Which I liked. You know what I mean? But overall, I thought it was fantastic. Truly.
Yeah.
I thought, man, this is some good shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Batman's with the cops, you know.
Yeah.
It was
like how far in his career is this taking place? Like, is he still like new? Is he established to a point? Like
vigilante status, sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, he's with Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
But this is early on.
Yeah.
This is like pre-Joker, pre-everybody. This is more with the mob bosses.
Right. Like I'm curious to see how, because they released that scene with the Joker.
Oh. Yeah.
And so it's like I'm curious, like where is he? Is he still like a first year, as the Batman?
I don't know if it's first year. It doesn't really go into it.
Yeah.
As I remember. And that's the thing I liked, sort of, is it didn't really get into it. Like, it didn't really get into the whole. It didn't really go into the beginnings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when he was a child and all that crap.
Right.
I mean, there were some visions of that, but all I know is Alfred's there. He's fighting crime.
Was he a good Alfred?
This is pre-Bruce Wayne, though. This is pre-Bruce, like before he becomes like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like he's Bruce Wayne, but he's not the Playboy Wayne.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's pretty early on. Yeah. It's pretty early on. But I'd say maybe year or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Of him doing all this.
Was the supporting cast like the guy who does like Gollum and stuff? I can't think of his name. He was Alfred.
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis, yeah.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I wish there was more of Andy Serkis.
Really? Because I really liked. I feel like Alfred Groh, who was like who was like Alfred for like those 80s and 90s movies. He was like a wink and a nod away from being the Alfred from the TV series. Like, he really like went along with it. He'd give Batman a little bit of a jab about like, hey, you're alone. He was always trying to but he was kind of like, he was really in on the whole thing.
Yeah.
I liked Michael Caine because I feel like he went along unwillingly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like, I'll help you with this because I promised your father I'd take care of you, and lucky for you, I have special skills that can help you with what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
But like, at the end of the day, like the last thing he wanted was Bruce to put that suit back on.
Right.
And
that vibe I couldn't quite get from Alfred.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like a partnership but then develops into something, you know.
Yeah. And like Jeremy Irons was like interesting because it was like he was almost just like, fuck it, you're gonna do what you want to do. I'm just gonna drink and build shit for you. You know, you know, like I mean, he was literally like, you know, yeah, I know. I come home. Oh, good. Look, sticky sheets. I get to clean that. Plus, let me bring you something to eat. Fuck, it's 10 o'clock. I'm having a drink. You know, like he was like a beaten down Alfred in a way.
Yeah. This guy's not beaten down. He's kind of like almost partnerish with him.
Yeah.
You know, he's I'd say more partnerish with him.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of goes into, I mean, if you watch that series, you know.
Yeah.
The Alfred series on WB or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was on Epix and now it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, HBO Max.
Which I've heard is very good.
It is good. I've watched some of
Yeah.
it. So it's almost kind of like they use that reference line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll say one thing about the movie. He says, you know, I wasn't much of a father. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of got dumped on me in a sense. You know what I mean? I mean, I could teach you how to fight. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what he did. You know, he taught him how to fight. And you know Alfred could fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it's kind of that vibe. But, I don't know. I liked it. I liked how it was the beginnings of these villains. The beginnings of the mob, or not the mob, but the current situation of the mobs in Gotham. How dark it was, how realistic it was.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it was very Nolan-esque.
Right.
And probably even more realistic.
Yeah.
Than Nolan. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like at one point, you see this in the previews. He's driving around on a regular motorcycle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like even like the Batmobile looks like a regular car that he kind of like modified.
Souped up. Wait till you see. But
it's like the motorcycle doesn't have like a big bat logo on it and shit like you normally would see. Like
he's like wearing a helmet. Like he's kind of like undercover.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of a recluse.
Yeah.
At this point, no, doesn't show his face much. You know, in public or anything like that. I dug it. I thought, man, this is good. And who I was really impressed with was John Turturro.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
Was you playing Falcone?
I mean, I was like, oh. And he was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, I was shocked on how well, how good he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, man, this is badass. Yes, it's long, but it needs to be this long.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could have cut some things out, but I enjoyed the epic. Yeah. I enjoyed that 3 hours. So at not one time I was bored. It was a story that just kept going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure they could have left some stuff out, but I felt that everything was there, you know, played a part.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I liked it. There wasn't anything about it I didn't like.
Good.
I like the fight scenes. I like the realism of it. Yeah, but I was really impressed with John Turturro. I was like, man, this guy is. I mean, I always like John Turturro, no matter what he's in, even in shitty Transformer movies. I enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa, brother, where art thou? I mean, like, I appreciate the guy from an acting standpoint. He's a damn fine actor,
yeah. Yeah.
He is, but he was really good as Falcone.
Now, the oddball question, but yeah, I have to ask it. like you're talking about the realism that this movie's bringing in. And so because of that realism, like, do you believe this is a universe where there could be an alien from Krypton in another city?
I don't know the answer to that. Maybe.
Yeah.
There's not really any reference to any of that.
Right.
Now, this is straight old Gotham. I like this world. What's going on now? I do. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if an Aquaman even fits.
Yeah, it feels like it's, from all the trailers and stuff, it felt like this was like it's, and I feel like DC's doing this. It's its own thing. Like they don't want it to be interconnected anymore, in a way.
Right.
Like I think they're sticking with Momoa as Aquaman because he's a home run as Aquaman. I think they're sticking with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman because she's a home run as Wonder Woman. But I think overall, like that whole like everything's connected type of universe that they were trying to build, I think they've just dissolved it and said, "Fuck it, we don't care."
Right. Maybe. I don't know. But
at the same time, then, like, you know, you've got the Flash movie coming out now next year. Yeah. And, you know, that's connected. And, like, somehow whatever universe the Keaton Batman is in, apparently the Batgirl movie, he's in that as well. So it's like, I don't know what they're doing. It kind of frustrates me a little bit because it's like, what's the connection? What's not connected?
Yeah, and this sort of had more of a Gotham vibe, but darker.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
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 Like, I don't know. I just really liked it.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is good.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, there was only one point in the movie where it was like I could almost hear myself saying, "Where is she?" You know what I mean? But
yeah,
there's only a couple moments like that. Like it wasn't crazy.
Like I don't want to compare him to, like, I hate that and I do it. I'm guilty of it. And I don't want to compare him to like the other people who have played Batman, but you can't help it because there have been so many at this point. But like, is this your Batman now? Like, is this the guy that you're like, okay, he's from what I know about Batman, this is the guy who's playing Batman. Because it's still, for me, it's fucking Affleck. He's come the closest to being the comic book Batman, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, I like that Bats too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think this is like what makes this interesting is we're so early on with him that we get to see an evolution of him versus everyone else that was kind of established. Mm-hmm. That makes sense? Like Bale was established.
Well, I mean, Bale was established through 3 movies. I mean, Batman Begins is the origin story of Batman.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But there's some time lapse there too, as I can remember.
Well, I mean, yeah, he spent a couple weeks. But between I think between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, there's a 2-year gap. Yeah. And then between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, I think it's 10 years.
Yeah.
So they're saying like 10 years of, because I mean, it was like, I think the 10th anniversary of the death of Harvey Dent or something that they were celebrating with at that party or something, so. You'll
be the better judge than me. I like I said, I enjoyed the film, but you should see it. I don't know if you haven't seen it yet. Of all these movies, you should be seeing this one. And I enjoyed, like the darkness of it. I'm excited to see his evolution. Bruce Wayne coming out of the shell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The more involvement of Alfred. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the ending to this. I didn't see it coming, even though in my mind I said this can't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's going on? But the ending necessarily throw me. It just, I thought it was just well done.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. You have to see it.
Yeah. I got to see it.
I mean, it's
just one of those movies, and I don't know why. I just wasn't excited for it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that is. I mean, it looked good. It looked like a very good Batman movie. I was intrigued to see it. I wasn't upset about any of the casting or anything like that. I'm willing to give Robert Pattinson a try. I think Zoe Kravitz is Selena Kyle. I think that's probably inspired casting in a way.
Yeah.
But I mean, so there's a lot of the cast. Like I looked at it and said, oh, this is a very good cast. It's just for some reason, like I just wasn't excited to see this movie. It kind of snuck up on me. I was like, oh yeah, Batman came out this weekend. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like it was like this odd thing of like, oh, okay, it's odd. I guess I should see it at some point, and then, or maybe I can just wait 45 days and I'll catch it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was. Yeah, I mean, it's an odd thing with usually a Batman movie has me very excited, and this one I was just kind of flat about, and I don't know why.
I think I like this too because it was like it came across as a lot of crime detective stuff.
Yeah.
Like piecing together the clues and trying to figure this out and letting the story unfold and you know what I mean? Which I liked. You know what I mean? I liked it versus, okay, here's this baddie and we're going to get him. You know what I mean? And we know who this is. So it's like them trying to figure out who it is, and then you just have to see it. I mean, like I like the interconnections between everybody, and as the story unfolds, you'll see. It's more of like them trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Him working closely with the commissioner. Alfred's involved. Everyone's trying to figure this fucking thing out.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. I mean, I liked it. I think that's why I followed it so closely. It wasn't like over the top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get that.
There wasn't like shit ton thousand gadgets and.
Yeah.
It was very realistic.
Yeah.
As unrealistic as something like this can be, it's very realistic. I like the Penguin.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. Yeah, the Penguin was good. And the Riddler I liked.
So I mean, like I know with
it almost came across as like a 7 or something. It was.
Yeah. They said they took a lot of inspiration from 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't read that. I just said that because that's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah. Like a lot of like serial killer stuff. They talked about like taking some stuff from 7, like being inspired by it. So that doesn't surprise me that came across to you. But like so I guess like they're doing like a Gotham PD TV show on HBO Max set in this universe, this Bat universe.
Right.
Would that be something you're looking forward to?
Maybe.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like, I like the universe, but I also I really liked him as Batman. So I mean, like, I kind of like. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's sort of like. What was the show called? Marvel.
Daredevil.
Agent Coulson and S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I never really watched S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I like it. I find it interesting, but not as interesting as, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Right. Like, I feel like though, like with the Gotham PD show, like I know the guy who played the Penguin, he signed on to do episodes of that.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's going to be a little bit more like maybe you don't get, you know, Batman showing up, but you know, you are going to see some more of that universe per se.
Yeah,
and it's not like, you know, yeah, it's not like, oh yeah, by the way, that's where the Penguin hangs out. Let's give him a wave. You know, you're going to see some more. I like Agents of Shield. Like the funny thing about Agents of Shield was it was like the premise was supposed to be like, you know, people without powers in a world where powers are being, prevalent now. How do you fight that? You know, and I mean that just went off the rails.
Yeah.
You know, but
that's not what it was.
Yeah, but I feel like a Gotham PD show would be like interesting because I mean, like, you know, you talk about like, you know, there's still like the crime families, you know, the Gotham crime families and stuff like that you could deal with, which I think is where Gotham went wrong. Like Gotham was so busy trying to like, oh look, here's also the origin of the Riddler, and oh look, here's the origin of the Joker, and oh look, here's the origin of the Mad Hatter, and oh look, here's you know, they were so busy trying to jam in all of these villains that Batman has before Batman shows up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like a show like if you're gonna focus on like, okay, like, you know, here's Commissioner Gordon, here's his trusted unit, these are the guys he trusts the most, and he's using them to fight organized crime in Gotham.
Right.
You know, and you have side view like, okay, oh yeah, here's the Penguin, we got to deal with him to get to so and so. You know, that could be more interesting, I think, than like that where the failure of Gotham was. Tried too hard to be a Batman show without Batman. I think this will try to be a show set in that universe a little bit more than just trying to be the origin story for all of Gotham's major bad guys.
Yeah. We'll see. I like I said, I liked it. I thought that it was worth my money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I completely enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't move. It kept going for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Riddler. I get the Joker scene. Like the Joker scene you saw was deleted.
Yeah.
Like the Joker scene in the movie is about a minute.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? It's nothing.
Yeah.
You have to see it, but it's not like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did enjoy that scene.
Yeah.
I mean, of all things they cut out, I don't know why they cut that out, but it doesn't really fit though. Thinking back on the movie, I mean, it kind of did, but then you're going down another alley. You're going down like Hannibal Lecter alley, and
yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. It felt like Lecter and Clarice, like, you know. He's giving him the files, and he's like, I need to know who this is. What can you tell me about him? You know, and
I don't think it needed to go there. I don't think that the movie developed enough on its own where you didn't need to see that.
Right.
Yeah. And I liked how violent he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of pent up shit there in him.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and like it's not, you know, you just have to see it. It's good. I quite enjoyed it. There's one scene where I was like, oh shit, man, that's. Yeah, I almost stood up at one scene. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna say the introduction of the Batmobile. That's not gonna take you anywhere. And it's not gonna spoil anything because you all know it's in there. But the introduction of that mother, I was like, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of my favorite parts, but.
Nice.
Yeah. You got to see the movie. Because I want to hear your opinion. I mean, you're more the Batman expert than me.
I'll as soon as I see it, I'll let you know.
Yeah, please.
I will. I'll certainly discuss it. I mean, obviously, we're discussing on the show, but like, I will. I'll let you know because like I'm like, again, like, I'm just not in a rush to see. I don't know why. I'm just not in a rush to see it. Like it's like
I can see Freeze in this world.
Yeah. Like
a well done,
like a well done Freeze.
Much more so than I could in even the movies, before.
Yeah.
Like I can really see Freeze in this world.
Yeah.
Like what they've created with this, I can really see him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense. Actually, I can see all of them. Because I mean, if you think about it, most of Batman's villains are pretty gothic and dark. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean to an extent. I mean, I think the top tier villains, like there is some like like Clayface, like
yeah,
like I could see it working, but I can also see it like being really fucking bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I can see Freeze.
Yeah.
Done well. Not with the shit that we saw in the movies. The Freeze we saw in the cartoon.
Yeah.
More of that apparatus.
Yeah.
Like we've seen Penguin. I like what they've done with Penguin.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Scarecrow. But like all these villains they just seem to fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Joker fit in Batman. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I don't want to see like the next one they do. I don't want to see a Joker focused Batman.
No,
I'm good with Joker.
Yeah, like I'm.
You know what I mean?
And it's not like it's just Batman's got a deep bench. Like there are a lot of other characters. Like I love to see him do a Hush. I like to see them try doing like the Court of Owls. Which is the one everybody talks about. Like, we want to see the Court of Owls, and that would be pretty badass to do. But like there are some other characters that like you said, like a really good Scarecrow movie would be fun. Like I thought they did a good job of Scarecrow in Batman Begins.
So I don't know.
But like that could be done better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like it fit for the Nolan verse. I kind of dug the whole deal, but at the same time, like it could have been done better. A Hugo Strange would be fun. Like a character, you couldn't do a whole movie around him. But the puppeteer, like is like his, like I can see like him like being like part of the crime family.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting characters that you can go down the rabbit hole with a little bit, and and really do a good movie with. Like I hate to say it, but I wouldn't want to see them touch Two-Face, because I think like what they did with Two-Face in The Dark Knight was so fucking good. Like I don't want to see that touched again for a while.
Yeah, I think they should let Harvey Dent just rest a little bit.
But at the same time, like the whole Harvey Dent character is so fucking interesting. And from the sound of things, like in this universe that you're talking about, he would really make sense.
Yeah, he would.
You know what I mean? And I think it could be done right, but it's hard for me to like say like, I want to see him do a Harvey Dent, because it was really done very well in The Dark Knight.
Yeah. The only thing I kind of complain I have is Commissioner Gordon seemed a little old for me. But that was about it.
Yeah.
He was just a little bit too old. But Oldman looks young.
Yeah. I like that character, like the guy who played him. I mean, I can't think of his name, but like he's in like Westworld and a few other things.
Yeah,
he's that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no doubt.
Yeah.
He's very involved in this movie, but I mean, it's just like, no. I just want to hear your opinion when you see it.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll have one.
Because it was It was something that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't really nervous about it because I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's either going to be good or bad.
Like I had no doubt this was going to be a good movie. Like I don't know what my problem is where I'm just like, oh yeah, Batman movie came out. Okay, I'll get around to it. I think it's just my general malaise with DC at this point. DC and Warner Brothers just has me like so like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I did watch, but I watched what DC and Warner Brothers does well, and that was I watched an animated movie today, Injustice.
Okay.
It's a DC Comics, but it's based off of there's a video game called Injustice, and the basic premise is the Joker kills Lois Lane and blows up Metropolis with like a nuclear device.
Oh fuck!
Because he got tired of losing the Batman, so he says I wanted to go to easy mode, and I decided to fuck with Superman. Like the Joker's whole thing is like, you know, just you wait. This is gonna push him over the edge, and Batman's telling him like, no, he'll always be the good man I know that he is. Well, Superman shows up and puts his fist through Joker's chest.
Really?
Yeah. And this becomes like Superman, like basically laying down Superman law. Like, you know, so like the whole thing becomes like, you know, when a god decides to take over, how do you overthrow the god?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and like some people like take his side. Like Wonder Woman's like, you know, who's like a total authoritarian herself anyway. Like, you know, yeah, he's right. We need to just fucking take over. You know.
Yeah.
You know, holy shit. But
Batman's like, I don't think so.
Yeah, Batman's like, this isn't how we do things. No. You know. So it was like, I'm not going to delve into it too deep, but I enjoyed it. Like as a cartoon, I liked the story that it told. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. The fun thing I found out after the fact is the voice of Batman was Ensign Mount.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, no wonder Batman was so cool.
Yeah.
But like, there's like these great like it's interesting because it's like, and I get like it's like, okay, the Joker kills Lois Lane and she was pregnant. And he destroys Metropolis. That pushes Superman over the edge to the point that he's going to be an authoritarian. And in the same movie, Dick Grayson dies.
Oh, shit.
And Batman holds it together.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like this great moment though, like where like Superman comes to Catwoman and goes, you know, Nightwing died. You need to go to him. And she goes to him and he's like just punching this like one of those like sparring things. And it's like just covered in blood because his fists are bleeding. He's been punching for so long and so hard. And she stops him and she takes off his mask and is just like, just for one day, you can fall apart and I'll hold you together.
Yeah.
And it was like such a, like, it was like, that is fucking brilliant. Like that was a brilliant moment there. And he breaks down for her. Like it was like so well done. I was like, I can't believe this isn't a fucking cartoon. This is brilliant writing.
Yeah.
You know, so overall, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I liked it a lot. And if you're into the DC animated projects and you have HBO Max, I'd highly recommend checking that out.
That's cool.
I'd highly recommend checking out any of their cartoon movies for DC. I think they do a fantastic job with the majority of them. There aren't many I would say, hey, that's a stinker.
Yeah.
You know, they do a really good job, especially like with Batman: The Long Halloween 1 and 2. That was really, really well done.
Yeah, that was good.
Batman Hush was also it strayed from the book, but I still enjoyed the hell out of it. It's controversial, but the Batman the Killing Joke is really, really well done, especially with people doing some of those classic lines from the comic book as the Joker. So like I would highly recommend like watching any of those. Like they're all very, very good. I guess that's all I watched this week.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Anyway.
Well, head there. All right. So speaking of, that was a live version of Stranglehold I was listening to there. Is it the 31st greatest guitar solo ever by Guitar World magazine? I was like, wow, that'll be high. But speaking of live music, I saw Metallica's coming to town. You gonna go?
Yeah, I think the girls got me tickets for my birthday.
Oh, wow. That's gotta be exciting.
Yeah, should be. I don't know where it's at though.
PNC Park, I think.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. Do you think, like, honestly, like, I know what your answer is going to be, but do you honestly think they're going to put on like a phenomenal show?
Yeah, they do. They put on a phenomenal show. They do. Music speaks for itself.
I understand that, but like, it's like.
Yeah, it's not like the Stones. It's not.
Well, no, it is. Like.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but it's. I don't know. Any live recording I've seen of them.
Yeah.
Has been good. You know, since their last album. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you're going for the old stuff. That's what you're going for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to hear him sit here play anything off of St. Anger.
But but what I'm saying is their show it's sort of Maiden-esque in a sense.
Yeah.
Maiden plays all their old shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Metallica does the same.
It's just
they put on a good show.
It's one of those things like, I mean, I was watching the Stones. It was like a concert from a couple years ago. I mean, they still looked and sounded phenomenal. You know, Mick is at 70 something, still running around the stage like he's a 20 something. You know.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's just that thing of like, how long until like you hit the wall?
I don't know.
You know.
Yeah.
Especially heavy metal is like a young man's band, like a young man's game.
Yeah.
You know. And it's like just it's one of those things. I don't know. Like, I mean, what, they're in their late 50s now, early 60s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Maybe
I mean, yeah. I think it's just it's one of those things like
50s. 60s.
Yeah. Like, I just saw like Def Leppard released a new album, and I was listening to like the new track, and I was just like, this is fucking awful. And they look horrific. Like, you know, like it's that funny thing of like, I'm at a point like where I want the legends to kind of go away. You know, I don't know. It's like that weird thing of like, you know, I mean,
but you don't
like,
really like anything new either.
No, I don't.
So where does that leave you?
I mean, that leaves me with, you know, listening to the music of my youth.
Yeah.
but I don't want to be reminded that they're old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, my parents saw Def Leppard in 1980 in Cleveland at the World Series of Rock and Roll, the old Cleveland Municipal Stadium. And they were still, I think, 17. They were underage, performing at this massive show in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And, so it's like this thing of like, I don't know, I want to remember Def Leppard as the band from Pyromania, not these 60-something-year-old guys trying to recapture their youth one more time and make a buck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
It's an odd thing. Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird because like Paul McCartney sells out.
Yeah.
Still to this day, Paul McCartney can sell out any arena in the world in minutes. Right. The Stones sell out in minutes. Like, it's there's that. It's Poison, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and I think Joan Jett.
Yeah.
Like, that's a stadium tour. That's Heinz Field. That's sold out.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing of like, I don't know how to express it. Like, it's like, I don't want to see you on stage like this. Like, especially like you look at like Vince Neil, like, dear God, Vince Neil, get in the shape.
Right.
Don't go out there and make a fool of yourself. Singing girls, girls, girls like that.
Bret Michaels still performs well though.
Yeah, a lot of them do. Like, there's a lot of those. And it's like funny because when I saw the Stones, in '95, and I thought, this might be the last tour. Boy, was I fucking wrong. Almost 30 years later, they're still out there.
Right.
It's just an odd thing of like, I guess as long as you can make money, you should go out there and do it, I guess.
Right.
But like, I remember like that one Super Bowl, the Colts and the Saints, and the Who was the halftime show, and they just sounded awful. They were horrible, and I was like, oh, that's just sinful. You're the fucking Who. This shouldn't be this bad.
Right.
It's like watching a great athlete. It's like watching like Ben Roethlisberger limp through his last season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you watched Ben this year and you're like, man, he's a ghost of what he used to be. I remember. And it's kind of the same thing with like rock bands. It's like, I remember, but you're still selling out everywhere you go. The same with Metallica. So it's just it's an odd thing of like, I just don't want to see them like go out there and be a shell of what they used to be.
Yeah, I don't think it. I'm not worried about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
I'm just not with that band.
Yeah. There are a few like anytime I see Robert Plant perform, I'm just like cringing because it's like, dude, you just don't have it anymore. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
You should not be performing Led Zeppelin songs.
Right.
And that's sad to say. Like, Robert Plant at one point, he was a voice, he was a fucking sex god, He was like this amazing, like, godlike being sent from the heavens to, bring the thunder. And now it's like he's like this wisp of a man who, like, when he sings, it's like, oh, please don't. Please don't. So. Yeah, we'll see. I get it. So I found this interesting bit of information that you'll appreciate.
Okay.
Because it involves David Cronenberg.
Okay.
Like, David Cronenberg is an interesting cat, by the way. Like, some of the stuff he's done and some of the stuff he's directed is very, very interesting. And like, he directed a movie called A History of Violence.
Right.
And this was it was based off of a graphic novel. It starred the great Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
And it holds a distinction, not only as being a very good movie, and not even being a Cronenberg movie, which I didn't even realize. Like, I don't know why it eluded me that Cronenberg directed that movie.
Right.
But it has the distinction of being the last major studio project to be released on VHS.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there were some other movies that were released like a little bit after that, but they were not major studio movies. They were mostly like independent stuff.
Yeah.
This is 2006, so this is the last major studio picture to be released on VHS, and it's a Cronenberg film.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's an interesting, like, Cronenberg. Like, I realize it, and I mean, and we watch him on Star Trek Discovery. Speaking of which, we need to discuss the finale of that. Did you watch that all the way through yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, Cronenberg directed like that. He directed, A History of Violence. He directed Eastern Promises, which also had Viggo Mortensen in it. And it's just like, he's an interesting cat. Like, he doesn't pigeonhole himself.
Nah.
Like, I always assumed like he just like did horror movies until I started like kind of digging into his career a little bit. I'm like, man, sure, he directed The Fly, but he directed a lot of other interesting shit.
Oh yeah.
He's an interesting cat. I need to dig more into him.
Yeah, I don't know how far you want to dig into Cronenberg.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either, but he has an interesting career.
Yeah, he does.
But it's hard to believe, like, the other side that I want to talk about, like, is, like, it's hard to believe that, like, in 2006, they were still making, like, they were releasing movies on VHS.
Yeah, how weird is that?
Yeah. That's like, there was like this weird, very weird, like, in the late 80s, this very weird moment where, like, you could order something on CD, cassette, or 8-track.
Yeah.
Like 8-tracks were still being made and sold.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing here, like this interesting, like, and like that late into the 2000s, it's surprising because like at that point, like, DVD was becoming what was prominent, and then but Blu-ray was making its way. Blu-ray and HD DVD was making its way into the into the systems as well. Like HD TV was becoming more and more prominent come 2006.
Right.
I mean, it was still in its infancy, but it was booming at that point. A lot of stuff was becoming, available in HD at that time. The war between Blu-ray and HD DVD was starting. I mean, it would probably be another couple of years before Blu-ray would kind of take over the market and HD would become the prominent form. But it's like, it's just surprising that like 2006 were still like, there were still movies available on VHS.
Right. It's nuts, right?
It is. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like, that's a good 30-year run to VHS tape had.
Right. It is a long time.
Yeah.
VHS.
And but it's also like hard to believe, like, at this point, like, they still release stuff on DVD.
Yeah, right.
Like, you would think it'd be Blu-ray would be the thing that they sold everything on at this point, but apparently there are still people who buy DVDs.
Yeah.
You know.
It's true.
Like I just want to know, like they have like an old DVD player that they're like running into like a 32-inch old school tube TV.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know.
Had to buy the digital converter box.
Well, I still have a VCR. We rarely use it.
That doesn't surprise me though, because like I mean, you like older tech, like you collect older tech in a way, like especially like with the gaming systems and stuff like that. But
yeah,
like it wouldn't surprise me if you called me one day and you were like, I found this Betamax.
Oh, I almost bought one.
Have you? You have one?
No. I found a laser disc at Goodwill one time.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I couldn't get it to work.
I envied people who had laser discs. Like I did, like it was, because like it's a weird thing, is for people who don't know, if you are a young person, you're like, what the fuck is a laser disc? It was like the size of a vinyl record.
Yeah.
But it was like the first version of a compact disc, but it was the size of a vinyl record, and you had this gigantic player you had to put it in.
Uh-huh.
But it gave you like this crystal clear picture.
Yeah, it did.
And like, I'll never forget, like the thing I loved about, like they would do odd stuff with those.
Uh-huh.
Like as far as like extras, like I'll never forget. We had our friend Tom who lived in New York City. He had a laser disc player, and he sent us, he when he recorded for us Blade Runner, and he sent us the on video cassette. And so the first time I saw Blade Runner was, this copy from a Laserdisc player onto VHS.
All right.
But at the end of it, if you watched all the way through the credits, at the end of it, there was a quiz. And it was like what was the total of Deckard's phone call, from the bar? What was Deckard's room number? What was the color of so and so's shirt? It was an oddball shit like that. Like you're like, holy fuck, I've never seen something like this before. You know, so you write down your answers, and then at the end of it, like after a couple minutes, it gave you the answers.
Yeah.
And so that became for me, like upon repeat viewings, I was trying to remember the quiz so I could remember the answers. Like, oh, okay, that's the door they're talking about. It's 6. Okay, Deckard's number 6. It was shit like that. That was a fun thing for me. Like, but that was all because he came off of a laser disc.
They were pretty neat.
They were.
I only knew a couple.
Yeah, and it was like if somebody had a laser disc player, it was like they were the epitome of cool. Like they had, it wasn't because they had money, but it was like because they were willing to spend that kind of money for that quality.
Right.
And the best was you get halfway through the movie and you had to flip it over.
Yeah.
Like come up with a picture and say, please flip over disc to side B. You're like, oh shit, okay. Get to watch the rest of the movie.
I'm there.
Oh.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Laser discs.
Yeah. That had a long lifespan too, oddly enough. Like I can remember going into Suncoast Video, and they had a section for laser discs.
Yeah.
going over and flipping through and seeing like all the cool, like, and they were set up beautifully, like because it was like album size, so you had like it was in an album cover, like they like have these like beautiful setups with it and everything. Like, oh fuck, I just get a VHS tape, motherfucker. I want a laser disc so bad.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah,
good stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. So I got that bit of news, and I got this tidbit that tickled my fancy.
Now,
normally I don't report on this stuff anymore because so often we start talking about shit like this and it falls through. But this apparently has some legs underneath it, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Apparently, we're in a point where there's going to be a live-action Voltron movie finally. And the guy who directed Red Notice, Rawson Marshall Thurber, will be directing the movie.
Okay.
And apparently there is a bidding war on who is going to actually, have the rights to distribute this, and it's between Warner Brothers, Universal, Amazon, and a few other studios. Looking for a chance to bring Voltron to life.
Okay.
Surprisingly, Netflix not interested.
Really?
And the reason I say surprising is because, they had first off, that's the home of the original cartoon. You can watch the original cartoon on Netflix, but also, they did a revival a couple years ago that I talked about on this show, Voltron Legendary Defender, which was really, really well done. It's a Netflix original. So I'm surprised, like based upon the success they had with that cartoon series, that they would not be pursuing this as an in-house project for themselves.
Yeah. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
You think they'd jump on that?
Exactly. I mean, Red Notice was a movie directed by, that was a Netflix original. So that's like, one of their guys that, that he directed the movie for them. And, and it's a project that they've had in-house as far as an animated series. So you'd think like it just makes sense, but no interest.
It's weird.
Yeah. I know you're not a big fan of like the cartoon series, but like would like a live action version of Voltron interest you?
Yeah, if it was done well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested in any kind of gigantic robot.
Right.
Done well.
Like I'm hoping like I would imagine you'd have to do this like for it to really work, it'd have to be a trilogy. I hate to say that, because we always talk about that. Like, well, it's got to be a trilogy. It's got to do it right. Got to be a trilogy. But I feel like the first movie would just be like, if you do it right, it should be like trying to find the lions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, here are these guys. They stumble upon, the castle. They wake up the princess. Everything kind of, she talks about, Voltron, the legendary defender, gives the mythos of Voltron, and we have to find the lions. And so the first movie should be like them trying to find the lions while the villain is kind of pursuing them. And at the end of it, they find the fifth lion and form Voltron,
Right.
That would be like this badass thing. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that, So like, I mean, the first movie would just, as an origin, would just be like, we need to find these 5 fucking lions now,
Yeah.
And then like after that, like, the second and third movie would just be like, how do we beat the bad guy? Like the second movie, I guess, would be like, oh shit, the bad guy has the upper hand. The Lions have been scattered, and the final movie is like Voltron Force coming back together and rallying to save the universe. Only to find out there's an even bigger baddie behind that. I think it was Prince Zarkon. So you do Prince Zarkon first, and then his father, the king, after that.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Yeah. It could be a really good series if you did it right. Especially as a first trilogy, and if maybe going from there.
Yeah.
But it's like that thing of particularly Voltron. It's had so many starts and stops over the years where people have been like, okay, yeah, we got the rights and we're gonna do it, and nothing fucking happens. So this is the first time I feel like looking at what's going on, wow, this really has wheels. This is really moving along. This could really pick up some steam and get going.
Yeah. I hope, but I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheese out. Horrible.
Oh.
Turn into Power Rangers movie.
Hold on. That one that they released a couple years ago was pretty fucking good.
No, I'm talking about the series.
Okay.
The Power Rangers series. I know what you're
talking about. I'm going to say this one. The first one was very good. The second one, Power Rangers Turbo, that was ass.
God.
I will defend the first movie, even though Ivan Ooze was a pretty shitty villain.
I'm talking about the series.
Yeah.
On TV.
Yeah.
And I just don't want the movie to turn out like that.
Okay. I get that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think it'll be that bad.
We'll see.
We will see. Exactly right. I think it'll be badass to see Voltron on a big screen. That would be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
I think it'll look good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. If you can make, what's the name of that? Gypsy Danger. If you can make Gypsy Danger look good,
Oh man, was that good?
Yeah.
First one was so good.
Gentlemen, get your money ready. Coming to the stage one, Gypsy Danger. Yeah, the little Nugent playing in the background as she hits the stage,
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, oh, you're right. The first Pacific Rim movie is so fucking good. That second one is so fucking bad.
Oh, man.
Oh,
it's horrible.
It is. It is fucking awful.
How can you ruin something like that?
I don't know. It baffles me.
You could have gone so far with that. You just ruined it.
Yeah.
Man. Anyway.
That one hurt my soul. That sequel was so fucking bad. I don't know which is worse, the sequel to Pacific Rim or the sequel to Independence Day.
Oh yeah.
Because that was fucking horrible too. That was even worse, maybe.
It could have been worse.
But that one didn't hurt as badly, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was just okay, this is just gonna suck. I know it's gonna suck. I had high hopes for Pacific Rim 2, and it still just hurt me that they were that fucking bad.
Yeah, it was bad. You know what I watched the other day that's really bad too? But for some reason I always watch this one. It's Battleship.
Oh yeah. That's a horrible movie.
But I fucking love it. I don't know why. I think it reminds me of. I don't know what it reminds me of. I have no idea.
Yeah. I get that. Like, I mean,
if they would have not just done the ending, I think it'd have been okay.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have done a different ending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Firing up the old ship and everything. That was bad.
Yeah, I think even firing up the old ship was cool.
Yeah.
But, there's like 85-year-old men running this ship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Carrying like a 2,000-pound fucking torpedo.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Child, please. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just didn't make a whole lot of. I mean, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
But the premise was good. I liked it. Like
if it hadn't been called Battleship, like, I think that's the problem. Like, that movie has the stigma of like, okay, this is based off of this game that we've all played for our entire lives.
Right.
And this is what they came up with. Like,
yeah.
Thank God they didn't make the Slinky movie. Like Hasbro has that problem of like, we're trying to like make like chicken salad out of chicken shit, and like this is the hand we're dealt, and we can't do it. Like, if you can't get G.I. Joe right, don't go making Battleship.
Right.
Until you get me a decent G.I. Joe movie. Yeah. I'm not quite sure how you fucked this up. Maybe go back and get the writers from the cartoon if they're still alive and have them do this. Because whoever you've got doing it now sucks.
I don't know how you can fuck up a G.I. Joe movie because it's already laid out in front of you.
And they've done it 3 times.
Yeah.
We forget they released that Snake Eyes movie. It was fucking awful. I watched it.
Was it bad? I didn't see it.
It's bad. Like, I'm just like watching it going, how did you fuck this up? It's fucking Snake Eyes.
Yeah, and Storm Shadow. How do you
fuck up this character? Yeah, and Storm Shadow. How do you fuck this up?
Yeah.
Like, until you give me a decent G.I. Joe movie, Hasbro, don't do anything else. I don't need to see a Rubik's Cube movie. Just give me a decent G.I. Joe film.
Yeah. Agreed. I don't know how you can fuck G.I. Joe up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all in front of you.
I mean, there are
so many storylines you can go with that, I don't know, even the characters have been developed.
I mean, Marvel did a better job. Marvel comic books did a better job of doing this story than fucking Hollywood writers did.
Yeah.
Like, the Marvel comic books, like, I remember, like, they were badass comic books. I was like, this is amazing. This is great writing. You go back and it's still half decent writing. You're like, how come these guys aren't fucking writing the movie? Because whoever they've got doing it doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
No. Terrible.
I mean, and they half fucked Transformers in the ass.
Yeah, I don't know how you fucked that up either.
Yeah, they did it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some redeemers. I mean, 1, 3, and Bumblebee. Those are good movies, but overall.
Oh, that Transformers, the last one.
Oh, what was it? Not Dark as the Moon. Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, that was bad. Yeah, the last one had Mark Wahlberg in it. Whatever that.
Yeah, that was horrible.
That was fucking awful.
Oh. That was
like 3 hours long.
Yeah, I don't know. What a waste of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, like they redeem themselves with like Bumblebee.
Yeah, Bumblebee was really good.
Really good. Like, I mean, that was better than it should have been.
Yeah, that was a sleeper.
Yeah. Like, you and I were ready to shit all over that movie. And then, like, when I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking good.
I know. I was ready to shit on it because I was like, after that last Transformers movie, I was like, my faith is gone in this franchise. Because that last movie was so fucking horrible.
It was. It fucking was. Like, I don't know who greenlit that turd, but
yeah,
I hope they rot in hell.
No, I just thought this was phenomenal. The Bumblebee was so good. Truly. It's like a really good movie.
It was.
How do you make something that good? You know what I mean?
Like, exactly. Like, that's the thing that kills me is, like, that movie was so fucking good. Like whatever they have, I can't remember. It's like Beast something or other. Has me nervous, but yet I'm thinking to myself, well, I mean, if Michael Bay's not involved and they got more of the people from Bumblebee doing it, maybe it's gonna be okay. I don't know.
What is it?
I can't remember. Transformers. It's not Beast Wars.
Oh God.
Let me see if I can find it here. Rise of the Beasts. Plot is unknown, but reportedly based off the Transformers spin-off Beast Wars, which features robots that transform into robotic animals.
I'm good.
Ron Perlman will be voicing Optimus Primal.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was out of Transformers by that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't care. They've never really done it right. So. One was pretty close, but still never got that full-on robot fucking fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right. Because, like, I mean, like, especially, like, in the Bay versions, like, the first three, like, they were all just, like, spiky and, like, I mean, you couldn't tell one from the other. They all looked the same.
Yeah.
So even if it was supposed to be, like, a main character, you were like, is that Starscream? I don't know. Oh, no, yes, maybe, I don't know. Like, it was, like, really poor. Like, they just did a bad. Like, they did such a bad job of making them distinguishable from each other that, like, again, like, when you look at Bumblebee and you see, like, the G1 look on all these characters, it looks like you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember playing with that character now.
Right.
Like, Optimus Prime looked like fucking Optimus Prime, not, jaggy edged spikes everywhere Optimus Prime.
Right.
No. Yeah, so. Like, I wasn't a fan of the Beast Wars either. Like, I was, again, like, I was after me, but, I'll give it a shot. But I don't have high hopes,
Yeah, I do not.
No.
No.
Well.
Yeah.
Fucking had, bro.
I know, fuck. Oh, real quick, Discovery.
Oh yeah, Discovery. What'd you think?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
It kind of came into true fad. To me, it kind of had a Roddenberry end to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
It felt very cool. Trekkish, but I like that about it.
Yeah, I did too. I was glad they saved Book because I like the character.
I like the character, but I thought based upon what he had done, he had to die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? That's thought it was so I hated the fake out and then bringing him back. Like, weirdly, I wanted Michael to kind of carry that burden a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I did what I had to do, and I hate that I did it, but it's what had to be done type of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And, like, I just thought it was like I think it would have done the character more justice to have died than to have been saved.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outside of that, like, I didn't have a problem with the ending. I liked it. I liked what the 10C were. I liked how the communication kind of got figured out. I like, there was a lot of good that came out of that. I thought, like you said, it felt like a very Roddenberry-esque finish.
Yeah, it did.
And it wasn't so outrageous like the ending of season 3 was. That I was like so pissed off. Like, well, this is what the fucking caused the burn. Some little kid,
Right.
So I felt good about it, and I always, I'm looking forward to the next season and seeing what they have in store for him.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. And I've been enjoying Picard so far.
Have you?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it really.
No.
Every time I start it, I end up falling asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the. So far, I liked the story and where it's going, and I'm intrigued to see where this takes us.
Yeah.
Because I think, like Q might have Alzheimer's or some shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I think that's kind of what they're leaning at, because it was kind of like one of those deals where like Picard talks about, like, Q seemed different. He seemed, more violent, and there was something off about him. He's not the Q that he's a different. He's just he's different than what I remember him, and it's like I'm looking at it and I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, there's something wrong with Q. That's what they're leading us to, so what happens when a god has like a chronic disease?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what's kind of an interesting aspect to it. And
yeah,
there have been some other interesting points. I don't want to spoil it, but the only thing that drives me nuts is this. I hate the animosity people have about both shows, because especially, like, there was a lot of right-wing animosity towards Star Trek because Stacey Abrams was the president of Earth. She's a Democratic liberal politician. She was a Star Trek fan, and you get into Picard, and especially now that they're in the 2024, there have been some left-leaning storytelling. I'll say it that way. Doesn't bother me. It's telling a story. It's set in our very near future. So the stance they're taking makes sense from a Star Trek standpoint, because it's a left-leaning show.
Right.
It's always been liberal. Go back to the original series. It was a liberal show then. It's a liberal show now. So, like, the animosity that some people have thrown, like, oh, well, more left propaganda. I'm done watching. I'm like, what the fuck have you been watching for 30, 40, 50 years?
Yeah, right.
You know, like I can enjoy it because it's a sci-fi show. Yes, it has some lefty values that maybe I agree or disagree with, politically. I don't know. But, either way, I still enjoy the show. I understand what I'm getting myself into when I watch it. You know, if you didn't know that, like if you're shocked in 2022 that Star Trek has left-leaning values, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like that just drives me nuts.
Yeah. It's been there since inception.
Whatever you think politically, just enjoy the show.
Right. They can't do that. They can't separate.
No. I know, and that's what drives me nuts. But it's like, but you had to have known this. Like you had to have. Like what are you watching all this time? Right. So that just kind of bullshit drives me nuts because it's not like they've hidden it all these years. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been out there.
Yeah.
It's in the open.
Yeah. From day one, this has like been Roddenberry's vision. I don't know how you thought this wasn't anything other than that, but congratulations on showing us just how stupid you must fucking be.
Right.
So that's my only complaint is about the general population, not the product that they're putting on.
Right.
So
that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have enjoyed Picard. I'm intrigued to see where it goes from the time travel standpoint. And how long they're going to stay in 2024 before they go back to the future.
Right.
I will say this: I did think they missed an opportunity to have the creepy puppets because they pull a warp around the sun to go back in time maneuver.
Yeah.
And they just the missed opportunity of like they did in Star Trek 4 with like the creepy looking like puppetly looking things.
What?
You remember that scene? Like I can't remember. Like, it's like these like heads. Like it was not puppets, but like it was like these clay. I don't know what they were, but it was like these like it was like Kirk and Spock like their heads like.
Oh.
That's that moment like when they go back in time. There's like that weird moment where, like you can see like their faces as like these like statuesque faces or whatever. I don't know. It was like very creepy though. Like they missed that opportunity. I was like waiting for that. I was like, this won't happen to Kirk. It's got to happen to Picard. No, I didn't get that.
It's funny.
Yeah. So. Anything else you add to the proceedings?
No, man, I'm good.
All right. Well, remember there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send us an email like Thad does each and every week. And Thad wanted to correct you. Juju Smith-Schuster only got a 1-year contract, not a multi-year deal with Kansas City.
Okay.
Yeah. So Thad will take any chance he has to take a shot at Juju Smith-Schuster. That was half his email. But you send us an email like Thad does each and every week that we really don't read. And that email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very, very easy to find. And we are a number of podcasting networks. You can find us on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Just give them a Google search and you can find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, I always want to thank you for checking us out each and every week. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to enjoy our hijinks and or shenanigans, whichever you prefer.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.